Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bloom. I want to give everyone just a few more minutes to sign in. But while we're here, I want everyone to check in with us. Let us know where you're coming in from, where you're dialing in from, what you're hoping to get out of this conversation. For anyone who may not have seen the advertisement today, we're going to be talking about healthy eating, and I'm going to show you exactly what I consume on a day-to-day basis and some of my favorite go-to recipes. So we're all going to be talking about solely things that are food that's nourishing our body and making us feel good, happy, and whole. So let me know in the chat. This is a live interactive discussion. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them in and I will address any questions that anyone has. So I cannot wait to check in with you guys. Oh, hi, Debbie. Mwah. Oh, hi, Yvonne. Kisses from New Jersey. New Jersey's in the house. Okay. Awesome. New Jersey, New York. Awesome. You know, one of the main reasons why we've had a lot of amazing guests. I think we filled so far 16 episodes, and we've had some amazing guests here at Bloom. If someone else has signed in that has not engaged with us before, we do wellness interviews focused around women and empowering women, and there's no discussion that's off the table. And so we've had an amazing, Stacy. Oh, hi, Stacy from Huntsville, represent from Huntsville. That's what we're filming today from. Yes. Okay. So we've had an amazing panel of guests. And one of the things that I really wanted to do today is I really wanted to take the time to just like check in with you guys. Like, how are you doing? What do you need? And not just the whole, just passing someone in a hallway and just saying, okay, how's your day? And not really connecting with them. I really want to take some time to connect with you all and just see, how's your day going? How's everyone feeling? I'll go ahead and start. So one of the things that, and for anyone that knows my children personally, you'll get this, but I have a Bible. I joined the military September 2nd, 2003. And I have a Bible that my dad gave me when I first joined the military, when I was getting ready to leave the house. And I joined when I was only 17 years old. And so I take this with me everywhere I go. I put it in my purse, or when I'm at home, it's beside my bed. And Lauren the other day saw it. And, my dad, for people who don't know, my dad is going to be with the Lord. And so she saw this Bible that my dad gave me. And she was like, Mommy, who gave you this Bible? And I said, oh, Pop gave it to me. And she said, well, how come you don't read it? and I was floored. And honestly, I took that as a sign that was a message that was flowing through my daughter from my dad. So I think it was just a reminder that I just need to get more in tune and in touch with myself and just check back in and, make sure I'm doing prayer so I don't feel off-centered and things like that. And I just want to start everyone off with a daily positive affirmation. So no matter what you're going through, I just want everyone to know that you are worthy of the life that you desire. Yeah, Lauren with the shade. She delivered the shade. But I want everyone to know, yes, you are worthy of the life that you want to live, wherever you desire for your mind, body, and spirit to be, that you can be it and you can achieve it. And this is a positive platform for us all to connect with one another and just, do great things. And so I just want to start off with that because a lot of times we start talking about food, we fail to check in with ourselves emotionally, because how we're feeling directly connects to the foods that we're consuming. And so for a lot of people, they may unfortunately look down on people who may have substance abuse issues, but how we interact with food on a day-to-day basis is actually an indication of one of our greatest addictions that we've ever had. But a lot of people just, may not acknowledge it. Poor eating habits when you're feeling down or depressed and things like that. A lot of people, they tend to go for the snacks or the sweets and the things that are not necessarily healthy for their body. And I've been there too. So one of the things that I just wanted to touch on is just checking in with each other being a friend so we can make sure that we connect with each other and make sure that we're all happy and whole, and just make sure that the issues that we're having in our lives, that we're actually addressing them and not doing damage to our body. So let's go ahead and just get started and talk about some of the things that I've been consuming. So a lot of people know my mother is here with us, and I posted on social media the other day that she has diabetes. And so she's been here with us for quite some time now, and I'm very excited about that. And so I've been working with her to try to get her on a different eating plan. She's been very open to it. So she's been gravitating towards salads and things like that too, because one of the biggest things that I've noticed throughout my life, you cannot push something on someone else that they don't want, especially when they're grown. So, but she's been doing a great job. She's been eating salads. I've been juicing for her every morning. And it was just the highlight of my day the other day. And I shared that with you all who are friends with me on Facebook, that, she didn't actually have to take her insulin that day. And so that was just absolutely amazing to me. And I was just happy to see that and know that, the food that she was eating was clean and it was nourishing her body. So let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. So I wanted to just touch on this. A lot of people may not know what demographic has the highest life expectancy. So Asian Americans right now are at the top at 86.3%, whites at 78.6%, Native Americans are at 77.4%, and African Americans are at 75%. Why is this information important? Because it's just, honestly, it's great to know. There's tons of other breakdowns that you could go through that could talk about, more different cultures and races that are more susceptible to diabetes and heart disease and things like that. But information is very powerful when you start talking about the things that we should be consuming. So I know for me, as an African American woman, sometimes culturally I've received pressure to consume certain things that weren't necessarily good for my body, like the ham hocks or the chitlins. I don't know if everybody's familiar with that type of stuff. And I know at one point in time, those things, seem good to me because that's the environment that I grew up in. But a lot of the dishes that I used to consume, once I started realizing, were things that were given to slaves when they didn't have access or choice. I realized that those weren't the best things to nurture my body. And so one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about this discussion is also I've had, acne for a good majority of my life, acne all over my chest, my back. And so I've been to dermatologists and I've been to acupuncturists, one in particular who's amazing, who gave me some amazing tips. So my diet is very, very strict right now, and it will be, because I prefer to go the holistic route versus taking medication. But that is okay. I'm okay with that. And so some of the things that I may show you that I consume may not be best for you. I want everyone to make sure that they are in charge of their own wellness journey, and you're touching base with your doctors and making sure everything, is in line for you and what works for you. So, but I'm just going to go a little bit deeper into some of the things that I eat. So next slide. This next one, I want you to brace yourself, because this might shock a few people. But let me tell you why this chart is important. And I hope no one's eating right now. But this is a conversation that we need to have with each other. So I want to ask people, how many times should we be going to the bathroom to do number 2 per day? And I'll give you time to answer that. How often should we be doing number 2 a day? I asked this question because this is a very important topic. There's a lot of people who are constipated who don't realize that they're constipated. And I know a lot of people just don't want to have this conversation, but this is waste and negative stuff that should be, and toxins that should be coming out of our body. And there are people who have gone weeks without releasing stool, or even a week. So, we got to just make sure that we can identify how our stool is supposed to look, and so we can nourish our body properly. Sean says 1, Stacy says once or twice a day. Debbie, excuse me, says 2 to 3 times a day. So yes, so the answer is correct. 2 to 3 times a day, we should be going to the bathroom, releasing stool. And if you are not doing that, then you may be constipated. So constipated does not necessarily mean that you're not going to the bathroom at all. You're just not necessarily flushing your system as much as you should be. So just take a look at this. I know, this may not be visually appealing and things like that, but I want people just to be aware of how your stool may look if you're lacking fiber, for an example. And if we remember back to last week, we had an amazing 73-year young personal trainer on here, and she told us the importance of us consuming protein and fiber, and that most Americans aren't consuming enough. So I'm going to get into that and also show you what I use to supplement for fiber and protein, and things that you can, make adjustments and tweak to your diet if you're lacking those things. So we'll go ahead and move on. Okay, so everyone tell me, what's your go-to meal? What's something that you just love to eat? I told you all that, my diet has changed dramatically, but I absolutely love things like avocados. I have it here. There's certain things that I just keep in my house. Avocados is one of them. Grapefruit is just another. Those type of things have good, healthy fats. A good boiled egg, a poached egg like you see on this picture. Those things are amazing. Spinach, very high in fiber. A good whole grain bread is amazing. Things like that, are just gonna, help cleanse your system and just really nourish your body. I said earlier that I've gone months without consuming any sugar. For anyone who has acne or knows anyone who has had acne, you'll know that sugar is one of the main reasons for inflammation and why our acne tends to flare up. So I've had to completely eliminate those type of things from my diet. And so those are just some of the things that I've done. And I'll show you exactly what I've substituted for refined sugar in a little bit. So we'll go ahead and move on. So this is how, I know a lot of people may be familiar with this slide from when we were in high school or something like that, but this is what your plate actually should look like. Half of your plate should be vegetables, fresh fruit, and, just things like that. So that should be half of your plate. And then a quarter of it should be protein, and then good carbs. So what do people say? What are good carbs? And I know good carbs, or carbs in general, get a bad rap, but let's see, wheat rice is amazing, wheat bread, sweet potatoes. I stay away from white potatoes. I do not do white fries. Those type of things break down and turn into sugar quicker. And so for me, whenever I gain weight, I gain it around my midsection. So sugar is terrible for my body type, because as soon as I consume white potatoes or white refined sugar, it goes right to my midsection. And so, I avoid it at all costs. And so I stick with, whole grain bread, sweet potatoes and things like that. But majority of my plate is always going to be green leafy vegetables. So what does that look like? That's either spinach, that's broccoli. I love a good broccoli salad. That's going to be kale. That's going to be, peas, just anything like that. And there's so many different variations that you could do to consume healthier meals. But so that, I just want to show everybody just a quick snapshot of what your plate should look like. Yeah, Stacy says salmon, yogurt. Hello, Christina. Signing in from Texas. Sean says, it's funny how dog poop is gross, but this isn't. Oh, so if anyone just signed on, a few charts back, we were actually talking about what your stool should look like and how it's an indication of how, healthy your diet, your current diet is. So that's what Sean's referring to. I just saw that comment. But welcome everybody that's signing in. So, okay, we'll go ahead and move forward. Okay, so this here, that's a picture of my Princess Lauren. So 64 ounces of water we should be drinking daily. 64 ounces, 64 ounces of water. So why is water good for your body? It keeps us hydrated. It regulates our body temperature. Our organs are made up and filled with water. We just need it, and it improves our sleep quality. I mean, it's just so many different things and reasons why we need water. A lot of people are not drinking enough water. A lot of people are just not drinking enough water. So what can you do? So just one of my tips is, as soon as you wake up first thing in the morning, drink 16 ounces of water. Before you have lunch, drink 16 ounces of water. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to take a sip of my tea because this has water in it. Before dinner, drink 16 ounces of water. And then before bed, drink another 16 ounces of water. And there you go. You have 64 ounces of water, which is the recommended amount that we should all be consuming daily. So water is not only, a lot of times we overconsume and we overeat because we're not hydrated. Our brain cannot necessarily determine or differentiate between hunger, we need food, and hydration. So you'll find yourself, if you're actually hydrating your body properly, you'll realize that you're not necessarily as hungry as you thought that you were. So the good rule of thumb is to actually consume water before you eat, because your brain could just be tricking you. You're not really hungry, but you just need water. So you want to lose weight? Hydrate. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so let's talk about some metabolism boosters. It just really irks me whenever I see people actually using things like hydroxycut and things like that. Sean said water does help with digestion too. But I just want to mention, it really bothers me when I see people consuming things like hydroxycut and things like that. And I get it, everyone's body is different. So we're not here at Bloom, we're not about shaming. We're about every step of the way, you loving your body, the way that it looks, but period. There are also other ways that we can boost our metabolism that are not necessarily as, that aren't advertised the way that they should. So there's certain things like, Stacy mentioned salmon. Salmon is great for boosting your metabolism. Coffee, caffeine, chili peppers, tea, legumes, tart cherries. Yes, want to lose weight, hydrate. Protein is amazing. You should be consuming 1/8 of a gram or 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight that you have. That's how much protein you should be consuming. So for me, I weigh 158 pounds. I should be consuming 158 grams of protein a day. And so I'm going to show you what my protein powder looks like. And this is my preferred choice. So I go with Guardian of Life protein powder. It's clean. It's plant-based. It's mostly made from peas and sprouted seeds and grains. It is absolutely delicious. It comes from, it comes in vanilla, chocolate, and sometimes you can find the chai flavor, which is amazing also. It has hints of cinnamon and things like that. I get this one. Oh, will protein make you look like a man? Good question, Sean. No, it will not. Our body compositions is totally different for men. So if we're consuming protein, it is not going to make us look like a man. Lifting heavy weights will not make us look like a man. I go to the gym 6 days a week. I actually really enjoy it. I do not feel like I look like a man. And I do want to also say that there is nothing wrong with a woman being toned and fit and muscular. You do whatever works for you, but consuming protein for me is very important because it helps also to suppress your appetite. Water and protein are fantastic for helping you suppress your appetite. I cannot get the amount of protein that I need without consuming this protein powder right here. And so you can either add it just to water. You can make a shake out of it. Towards the latter part of this video, I got a great recipe that I'll share with you all that I use every single day. And so you can mix this up. I normally go with this option. I get this from Target. On Amazon, it's a little bit more expensive. From Target, it's normally about $21 a container. This is 18 ounces. which has 18 servings. Sometimes you can find it on sale for $19.99. This is another good option if you cannot find the Garden of Life one. I really like this one too. This was a good travel size, non-GMO, gluten-free, is clean, plant-based, velvet vanilla. I normally tend to go with the vanilla. And then if I want to change the flavor, I just add other things to it. So yeah, so those are some of the things that I just wanted to highlight on. So we'll go ahead and move on. So this sometimes is heavily avoided, but salads are absolutely amazing. There's so many different things that you can do to spice up your salads. You can add, like I said, avocado. You can roast some sweet potatoes. You can roast some eggplant. If you consume meat, you can add some grilled chicken, marinate your chicken overnight and then slice it up and put it on here. I mean, there's just so many different things that you can do. Salads are amazing because, again, they're high in fiber. So if you're only releasing stool once per day, adding at least one salad to your day, a full, earthy, beautiful, colorful salad will help regulate your body and just make you just feel more clean, and it'll brighten up your skin, just make you feel more just alive. It is just beautiful. So just play with it, make it look beautiful and pretty. One of the things that I do, I chop up my salad into small pieces and I season it, and then it just tastes so much more amazing because it's in bite-sized portions. I also add flax seeds to my salad. Flax seeds are amazing. This is pure, just basically pure fiber. And so I add that to it as well. And it's just so many different things that you can do. Let's go ahead and move on. One of my go-to breakfasts every single morning is oatmeal. Oatmeal is absolutely amazing. Again, it's something else that you can just dress up. When I'm like really getting lean, normally I give myself permission to gain 10 pounds. Anything over 10 pounds, I just don't feel myself. And so in the midst of the pandemic, I gained 20 pounds, which is not my norm. I think it's because it was just so much going on, and I'm a social butterfly, and being restricted and being in the house was just very stressful for me, and those carbs were looking good. But it is okay. We can always bounce back. And I don't care how much weight you gain or where you are in your fitness journey, there's always something that you can do about it. So oatmeal is my go-to. Steel cut oats are amazing to me. And I don't know if everyone can see the label. Steel cut oats are cleaner. Regular oatmeal is perfectly fine. I've eaten regular oatmeal as well, but steel cut oats are non-GMO. It's pure, it's healthy, it's higher in fiber than traditional oats. There's so many things that you can add to it. You can add shredded coconut. You can toast your coconut and add shredded coconut to it. I do that as well. Chia seeds are amazing to add to it. Has anybody ever used chia seeds? Has anybody ever used chia seeds or made chia pudding or anything like that before? Coconut oil, I put coconut oil in just about everything that I consume. For me, especially with acne, it's antimicrobial. I cook with it, and it's really beautiful. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. Oh, Amir has used chia seeds. That's awesome. My brother's doing a low carb meal plan right now, which I think is fantastic. And again, like I said, everyone has to do what works for you. For me, well, actually, I think he's not doing any carbs at all. Yvonne says she adds chia seeds to her water. That is amazing. And I'm so glad you mentioned that, because adding chia seeds to water and even a little bit of lemon is another great appetite suppressant. And again, we want people to eat. It's just a matter of not just like over consuming. So that is a great tip. He's using MTC and MCT and everything. What's MCT? Yeah. So for me, what I normally do is I plan my carbs out throughout the day. And so my body is more energized. My metabolism is more charged and faster during the day. So that's when I normally tend to consume my carbs. If I'm going to have any type of sweets, even if it's like, it just doesn't matter. Any type of sweets, I'll have it normally before 12. And so I go to the gym first thing in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, I work out, and then I come home and then I have my carbs, and it's normally oatmeal these days. And then I do a protein shake, and then followed by lunch and things like that. But normally I try to plan my carbs for first thing in the morning. It is not ideal for me to have carbs before I go to bed because my metabolism is not as revved up, it's not fired up. And the majority of the time, if I have carbs before I go to bed, then it's going to stick to places that I don't want it to stick to. So you just have to figure out what works for you and your body. Everyone is different, but that's just one of my tricks whenever I want to get, very lean. I like to stay around a size 4, a size 6. That's what feels comfortable for me. My clothes are all that size. I don't want to go buy any new clothes, and that's where I tend to gravitate to. But another thing, this is Birch Blends. This is a pancake/waffle mix that I absolutely love. So normally it's all plant-based protein. It is one of my go-to. It's made with whole grains. Remember we talked about whole grains? That's one of the good carbs. So if I have waffles or something like that, I'll plan it out. Maybe I'll do it on the weekend. And this has protein in it. So serving size is 2 to 3 pancakes, only 180 calories, but 10 grams of protein, which is fantastic. And so I read the labels for just about everything. And I teach my children to read the labels. Issa's a little young, but Lauren, she totally has it. So I always look for the back and just see, are there any like added sugar or anything like that that's added to these things, just to make sure that it's not too hot. Because sometimes you look at the labels and it'll say, like I'll show you this one. So the protein powder by Ollie has 4 grams of total sugar, and it includes 4 grams of added sugar. If it's like for people, especially with diabetes and things like that, if it's over 10 grams of sugar total, even look at the added sugar. If it's over 10 grams of sugar total, just go ahead and avoid it. Like just go ahead and pass it up. Try to stick around 10 or under. Again, I try to consume as little amount of sugar as I can because sugar is terrible for my skin. It is very challenging, yes, but my diet has to be this way in order for, me to keep things under control. So, okay, so right on the screen here is one of my favorite go-tos. This is mango chia pudding. It is absolutely delicious and very, very easy to make. So yes, Stacy, you have to try this. It is so good. So here are chia seeds right here for anyone who has not seen them before. They're in a case. And so they're just very small. And so I don't use dairy. I use normally like a nut-based milk, so like almond milk or coconut milk. So basically the ingredients are on there if you all want to try this recipe here. Hold on one second. Up top. So if you all want to try this recipe here, the ingredients are listed up top. But so you're just going to soak your chia seeds in almond milk, and you can add whatever sweetening alternative that you'd like to use. Some people think that certain things have an aftertaste. I think my brother Amir can agree with this. I told them that they should try the Swerve. This is all natural and it is absolutely amazing. You can buy this at most grocery stores. They have the regular sugar, the confectionate sugar, and then the brown sugar substitute. This is how I've gone months without consuming any sugar. Like, it is amazing. I can't tell the difference. Other people I've told this to try it cannot tell the difference. It is amazing. You can bake with it. It's keto friendly, tummy friendly. I mean, I just don't have any issues with it. It's just absolutely amazing. So that's my go-to. But the recipe for this mango chia pudding is right on the screen. I wanted to include this because I posted on Facebook the other day and people just seemed to like really gravitate to it and they wanted the recipe. So I wanted to highlight this today. You don't even have to do this as a breakfast. This is a good dessert as well. One of the things that I also do, you can add chocolate to this. So instead of the mango, you can do chocolate. You can do cacao powder. If you're consuming chocolate, I would recommend maybe staying around like 70% or higher. Anything more than that may just have too much sugar. Debbie says Amir has all three, which is amazing. That's awesome. Yay! I'm so happy that people are liking it. And so let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of Carob? I'm just curious if anyone's heard of Carob before. Carob. If not, this is something that I found out about recently. So this is mainly cacao and chocolate is delicious. Anyone who knows me knows that I used to be obsessed with chocolate. It is amazing. But I found out recently, unfortunately, that caffeine is terrible for my skin. So if there's anyone you know who has acne, or if you have acne, we have to avoid caffeine, is what my doctor told me. And so chocolate has traces of caffeine in it. And so he recommended carob to me. And carob is actually a fruit that tastes just like chocolate. And I wish I had the chips with me, because they make carob chips that look just like chocolate chips. And I taste it, and I get the unsweetened version, of course. And it tastes just like chocolate. It is absolute. Hi, Tammy. But carob chips are absolutely amazing, and it tastes just like chocolate. But I also purchased the carob powder, which is amazing also. So I'll add that to my protein shakes. You can add it to your chia pudding. I promise you guys, it tastes just like chocolate. Just like chocolate. And let me show you the back, because looking at the back of the nutrition facts are extremely important. So one serving size is 25 calories, and total grams of sugar. Let's look at this, 3 grams of sugar. So that's perfect. That's ideal. That's amazing. And so I'll use that in my protein shakes, or even I'll make my chia pudding with that. You can buy carob at Whole Foods. I normally find that the sugar-free carob variety, like the chips and the carob powder, are more commonly available on Amazon. So I normally order them on Amazon. But there's so many different things that you can do with it. So you can do chocolate-covered almonds. Like, that is a delicious dessert. And if you want to take the chocolate-covered almonds to the next level, just sprinkle a little bit of sea salt on the top. It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It's delicious. It's delicious. I avoid, I have to avoid pastries, things like that with refined sugar, especially if I'm losing weight. So it's not even just about my acne. It's about, just being at my healthiest body weight and just being healthy overall. I avoid pastries. Of course, I've had times, especially in the past, where you go to a birthday party and you have a piece of cake. Of course, you can treat yourself. I try to say, treat yourself, or find something that feels okay or feels like a treat at least once a week. That's, just, figure out a way to just, enjoy it. Amir uses cacao powder instead of, okay. Yeah, so that one, the pure cacao powder may have less sugar, maybe, and that is actually pretty good also. But the carob powder is amazing, and I just want you all to find ways to just treat yourself, maybe even once a week, of course. But there's so many different things that you can do to have a delicious meal plan variety that doesn't feel like a sacrifice, in my opinion. I did not grow up eating the way that I eat now. I grew up eating delicious food, don't get me wrong. But I've also managed to transition into foods that are healthier for my skin type and for my stage of life, with the foods that I have now. So it's just about me transitioning and just finding things that I enjoy. And it's been a process, but it works for me. So, okay, we'll go to the next one. Okay, so here's my green smoothie recipe. I do protein shakes 3 times a day. And let me tell you, let's go back to this protein powder. When I'm consuming the adequate amount of protein powder, and I've had moments where I'm not consuming enough protein, just like last week we had Miss Gail Lynn on, and she reminded me, I don't know if I'm consuming enough protein. When I am not consuming enough protein, I am hungrier. I do not feel as full as I should feel. I am consuming too much. And so my green smoothies, it does not take long to make it. It may seem like, I don't even measure, guys. I just put measurements up here just because if anyone else wants to try it, you know, I just put it up here. But I don't do measurements at all. I mean, and there's so many different things that you can add to it. Again, we said chia seeds, also high in fiber, very filling. Those are the things that when it gets into your stomach, it expands. Flax seeds, I add cinnamon. Turmeric is amazing for your skin. You can even do turmeric mask with honey. It's antimicrobial. It brightens your complexion. I mean, it's just so many things that you can do. You can add coconut oil. Remember, we said that's antimicrobial as well. So that cleans out your system. These are certain things that may prevent like free radicals and diseases and things like that. So I just honestly think things like this and this type of discussion is extremely important. So when I'm consuming enough protein, again, it's 3 times a day, protein supplements. As far as like green smoothies, I have at least 3 green smoothies a day. And so that's a lot of vegetables. I have 1 whole avocado every single day. 1 whole avocado every single day. You come to my house, I'm always going to have an avocado. Oh, and I'm always going to have plantains too. So I'm sure Debbie will appreciate that because I love some plantains too. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on. Unless anyone has any questions. So we talked briefly also about like good carbs. Again, I try to stick to sweet potatoes, anything with like wheat in it, whole wheat. I do sweet potato fries. There are times, I know I'm adding a lot of vegetables to the conversation. I personally don't consume a lot of meat. But I do like meat. So like, but I don't consume too much of it. So like we'll have chicken wings sometimes and I don't fry any food. I don't like deep fry any food. So I'll do air fried chicken, and I make sure that I have a protein shake somewhere around before dinner so I don't, do too much. Or if I'm leaving the house, I'll have a protein shake before I leave and I'll take some almonds with me. But these are some of the good carbs that I normally like to stick with. So of course, don't forget, like vegetables have carbs, fruit has carbs, legumes, any type of beans, basically, whole grains, brown rice is amazing, quinoa, wheat, oats. I mean, these are tons of different things that you can do. It's all about how you season things. That's the biggest thing. And sometimes vegetables don't get the credit that they deserve. And I know meat is absolutely delicious, but we use dried herbs and vegetables to season our meat. So it is awesome where we can incorporate fresh vegetables into our meals, and I actually love it. So Yvonne said, what's the name of the protein that you use? Okay, so this is the one, Garden of Life. I buy this from Target. It's normally around $21.99. Sometimes I find it on sale for $19.99. You can order from Amazon, but for some reason at Amazon it's $33 a jar. But you can also obviously order from Target as well. And I believe they do have free shipping. I've had times where this may be out of stock in the Target store that I go to near my house. And then I'll purchase this one by Ollie. This tastes delicious to me as well. I'm just going to hold it up here just a little bit longer so you can, to make sure that you have it. And so, yeah, so this one tastes amazing as well. So these are my 2 go-tos, both plant-based protein, and I just love them. And so we're going on vacation soon this week. So we're going to be blooming from other states. I'm excited about it, showing you guys the city. But one of the challenges for me, because of my skin, I mean, yes, Sean brought up a very good point. He said, don't get protein confused with meal replacement. They do have, okay, so let me hold this up again. So this one just says protein. You're welcome. So this one just says protein. They also have the one that says meal replacement at the bottom. And that is supposed to supplement your meal, essentially. It is exactly what it says. They also have one that says protein and greens. It is tempting to get the one that says protein and greens because you think, oh, okay, well, I'm getting my green vegetables in at the same time. From my experience, it does not taste good. I purchased the protein and greens one thinking that, okay, well, I'm getting more greens into my diet daily. And that container has been sitting up in my cabinet for probably about 6 months because I'm too cheap to get rid of it and just, do something else with it. I feel like if I throw it away, I just wasted money. But even though it's sitting up in my cabinet, not serving any purpose. But yeah, so this one, it just says organic protein. All three of the flavors are delicious. I tend to get the vanilla because I can add whatever flavor to it I want to. You can add frozen berries. Again, you can add carrot powder, cacao powder, anything you want to just spice it up. I always add a sweetener to it. Swerve sweeteners taste amazing, just to give it a little bit of sweetness and make me feel like, I'm actually eating something that, satisfies my sweet tooth. And so there's so many different things that you can do with that. Okay, so let's move on. All right, well, that is pretty much it. I mean, I hope that you guys were able to get some tips off of that. Does anybody else have any questions? I don't think I have. Oh, I also want to show you this. For anyone that's interested in trying the Carob, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me while I'm just showing this last item. But for anyone who's interested in trying the Carob, this is another one that I purchased. This is a lemon Carob spread. It is pretty much gone, but it is delicious. I purchased this off of Amazon, and I found for my body type, and again, I do love sweets, but when I am consuming the right amount of fiber, I'm hydrating my body, and I'm consuming the appropriate amount of protein, I don't crave sweets really like that. I really don't. And so this is surprising. And I know some people may be shocked about this, but if everything else is in line with my diet, sometimes at night I'll have a craving for sweets, and I'll just get just like half a teaspoon of this, and I'll put it on a strawberry, for example. And then it's just like my sweet craving it's honestly gone after that. So this is really delicious. Oh, Keisha. Oh, thanks for signing on. Yes, Stacy, I'll post a recipe for the chia pudding and green smoothie on our page. Yes, I'll definitely do that. You got it. Oh, Keisha, thank you for trying to sign in. Anybody who misses this episode, I know the lives are amazing. It's fun because we can interact with each other. That's the thing that I look forward to in my week as well. But you can actually go to the videos tab on our page, and you can see all of our previous episodes. So we have them sorted out by season 1. We do 10 episodes per season. And so season 2, you'll be able to go in and you'll locate this episode here. So I hope that helps you, Keisha. But so yeah, this one is absolutely amazing. It's delicious. It's a lemon Carob spread, and I'll just put it on a strawberry, for example, and that satisfies my sweet tooth. I mean, it really is. It just works for me. There's so many different things that you can do. You can make healthier brownie alternatives, just whatever you guys are interested in. One of my things that I really enjoy is I love finding desserts that may be traditional or may have more sugar. And I love making it healthier. So if you just send me a message and just say, okay, I love brownies, can you show me a healthier way to consume that brownies so I'm not consuming a lot of sugar and things like that? Just send me a message on Bloom, and I'll show you exactly how you can make a healthier version of brownies or just whatever, or even something like, ice cream. One of the things that I did actually last night, I had a sweet tooth. I take frozen bananas, and I blend them up, and I add a splash of almond milk, some honey. You can add dates to it. You can blend that up, and then you can just put it in a bowl just like you would ice cream. You can add whatever toppings to it. You can add nuts. You can melt some chocolate and drizzle over it. It's just so good. Yeah, it was just really good. So yeah, so just let me know if you guys are looking for anything else. Again, conversations like this to me are just really important because it's all about taking care of your body and just being happy and healthy. I'm excited moving forward with Bloom because we have some other amazing guests. We're going to be talking about depression as well coming up. But if there's anything that you all need from this episode, please send me a message. Let me know what you're looking forward to getting out of these conversations and these Bloom shows. And I'll definitely reach out and we'll do a discussion. And I'll find even experts in that area that can shed some guidance, because it's great hearing another perspective. And I'm so happy. I really appreciate the fact that I get messages from people saying that you enjoyed a particular show or you got something out of it. And I just want to make sure that we continue to do those things and that you all are getting great information. So if you have anything that you are looking for that you need personally, just send me a message and I will find you the answers that you need so we can all bloom together. So I love you all, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. Invite a friend, send some suggestions or episodes, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.